Alright, so today I'm going to be going over the update on some of the modifications I did to my AK. And just to clarify again, it is the VSKA AKM AK47. So the first thing I did is, it comes with a really poor quality polymer handguard, and this one is like very poor quality, and there's no heat shield inside the handguard. So I didn't really like it because I have large hands. So pretty much the first modification we made was getting the Magpul Moa Handguard. It's much larger to fit my hand, and there's less risk of actually touching the barrel when I'm firing. When I fire, my hand forward, back, larger handguard. And it's actually only a tiny bit heavier than this. And what's pretty nice about the Moa Handguard as well, there is a metal heat shield inside the bottom handguard, so it's not going to melt on you pretty much. And the top of the handguard has ports that the standard polymer furniture does not have, so the ports are going to allow much more heat to escape and not burn the heck out of your gas tube. Again, it comes with a MOE P-Mag, very good quality. I got some other little mags. They're pro mags. They're not the best, nothing compared to the P-Mag, but I got two more of these, so we wouldn't have to reload as much at the range. Now, what I used at the first day of the range, actually, no, we're going to go over the other modifications first. So the second modification I made was to remove the thread cap that comes standard on the VSKA for the California compliant rifles. For some reason they take off the traditional AK slant brake, so I took off the thread cap because it doesn't really do anything for the rifle, and I put a lantac drakon muzzle brake. Now the muzzle brake itself is very heavy. I think it's like 8 ounces. I'm not sure about that, but the massive ports on the side of the muzzle brake and the ports on the top drastically reduce the felt recoil when you're shooting. I've only ever shot an M16 before, and with the lantac drakon muzzle brake, the recoil of this AK compared to a 5.56 NATO M16 is barely a little bit larger. I went through and shot a couple hundred rounds to the range, and I feel perfectly fine after firing. So a good muzzle brake on an AK is a good investment. Okay, so we've gone to the range twice now. The first time I went to the range, it was me and my wife, and we were shooting Red Army Standard, red box. Now, I got lead core, not steel core ammo, because it's really hot and dry here. So what's nice about this ammo is it's got a lacquered steel case, so it's not going to be corrosive for your barrel, so you're not going to destroy your barrel. It has primer, the primer seal, and the neck seal, the purple sealant. So they're pretty good for long-term storage. One downside I noticed after cleaning the rifle the first time at the range, the purple sealant really flakes off in the rifle. So when I went to go clean the rifle the first time at the range, all of the purple flakes really got filled inside the receiver. So all in here by the chamber, purple flakes, down in the middle receiver, purple flakes, and even down in the trigger guard, where the trigger housing is, all in the springs, there's purple flakes. So a little bit harder to clean, but honestly, it's good ammo. Full metal jacket, boat tail, a little bit more accurate than standard full metal jacket. Steel casing, of course, it's your Russian ammo. This is sold primarily by Century Arms. You can buy it at other third-party stores though. So first day at the range, I wasn't able to zero the rifle because we didn't have any targets or anything. We kind of just went to test fire the rifle before we really did anything else to make sure the rifle functioned properly. Shot 170 rounds the first day at the range. There's no malfunctions. The rifle functioned perfectly fine. I was able to hit steel target at 300 meters, so that's pretty good. I could consistently hit at 185 and 200 meters with the AK, just using the, you know, standard AK iron sights. And that was me having never shot an AK before, never even used the iron sights before. So pretty user friendly, as long as you know, do some research on how to shoot it. For first time shooters, able to hit 200 yards is good. Second time I went to the range, I took me, my father-in-law, my father, and my brother, and we shot 370 rounds out of it over a course of a few hours. There was one malfunction with the rifle. Again, it was with this ammo, and I'm not sure what magazine it was. I think it was one of my cheaper magazines, but we had a failure to eject. And basically what happened, my brother was being retarded and shooting at rapid fire from the hip, and it jammed with a failure to properly eject. The rifle fired perfectly fine, but the steel casing got smashed at the top of the chamber and just completely smashed the steel case. To fix the malfunction, all I did, you know, remove the magazine, turn the rifle over, shake it, cycle the rifle a few times. The malfunction just fell right out of the rifle, and then I test fired it after that. It was perfectly fine. So one malfunction, it might have been the magazine, it might have been the ammo not being gassed properly with the rifle. It might have even been my brother like shaking it around when he was trying to shoot, so the ejection didn't happen properly. But one malfunction, that was at about 250 rounds. So far I've shot about just under 500 rounds with the rifle across 2 trips. The one malfunction, other than that, rifle's perfectly great. The best accuracy I was able to get on my second trip after I had a little bit of experience with it, we were shooting at 330 yards, and I was able to hit 8 out of my 10 shots out of my mag. So 80% accuracy, 300 yards with, again, a non-zeroed rifle. So whatever zeroing they did at the factory at Century Arms, the factory zero is actually very good on this. So yeah, I was impressed with that. Toward the end of our trip, we were shooting at only one target we had. This was placed at 50 yards. Don't mind the 2 holes at the top are where it was put in, and the 2 holes at the bottom here where my fingers are, that's where it was put in. But this is my 50-yard grouping. A lot of them were to the left, and again, that can be anything from the ammo, but I will say it was very windy at the range that day, and the wind was traveling in this direction. So 50 yards, I had the rifle sighted to 100 yards on top. 100 yards right there, or 100 meters since it's AK. I had it sighted to 100 meters, so when I was firing the rifle at 50 yards, all I did is aim at the bottom of the target, so the drift up is pretty good. I shot 20 rounds. I hit the paper, 20 rounds, 50 yards, so you know that's good enough for me with a non-zeroed rifle. And considering the wind drift to the left, it was good. So that was my first and second trip to the range. Again, the modifications I made: the Magpul Moa Handguard, the lantac drakon muzzle brake, and that's pretty much all the modifications I've done. One product I will shout out to is the Real Avid AK cleaning kit, AK47. So this thing is really small. It's, again, almost the size of a 10-round magazine, a little bit larger, and bulky as 2 10-round magazines. But this comes with everything you'd need. All your bore brushes, your gas tube brush, nylon brush, your cleaning rod disassembled, and it has a really awesome little tool in here. This is good for removing the gas block. Fits in there perfectly, and you're able to crank that out without messing your hands up or anything. It's got a bunch of scrapers for the gas tube, the bolt carrier group, and the bolt. Really helpful for cleaning the rifle. So that's my my experience. 2 trips to the range, modifications with my rifle, and yeah, thanks for watching.